Well, good evening, everyone. I'm the assistant principal at the high school, Dr. Greenberg, and I would love to welcome you to our Physics 9 informational session. With us tonight is the ninth grade school counselor, Ms. Sori, as well as two of our physics teachers, Ms. Fassini, who's actually going to be teaching the Physics 9 class, and Mr. Bauman, who teaches the rest of the physics courses as well as AP Physics. I'm sure that you have experienced somewhat of odd 2 school years, but one thing is for certain, our belief in academic success of our students is not changing. You actually have begun this journey already, having taken 2 high school courses, algebra and living environment. That means that you're well on your way in your high school career. High school is going to be so much more than academics. It is sports, social life, and other experiences. With all that, please rest assured that our high school team is ready to support you in your new endeavors. Ms. Fassini has been teaching at the high school for many years, and there are few teachers in our building that put in more time in planning and preparation for her lessons than her. She has set up a system of support for you. In a few minutes, she'll be able to tell you all about the course. But we will begin with Ms. Sori, who is in her first year as a counselor, but it feels so much longer than that. Ms. Sori has been instrumental in ensuring that your schedules are attended to and is looking forward to seeing you in the building next year. Thank you for coming to this informational session, and I will stick around in case of any questions you may have, and I also man the Q&A. All right, Ms. Sori.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ariel Story. I will be your child's counselor next year. I'm really excited to meet everyone, and I want to congratulate everyone on being able to take ninth grade physics. Super hard and super challenging, but I'm sure everyone's going to be successful. That's all I have to say. Dr. Greenberg started off really nice. And here is Ms. Fassini and Mr. Bauman with the rest of this.
Hi, I'm Ms. Fassini. As Dr. Greenberg has said, I've been here quite a while, and I've taught a lot of things, and I do a lot of things at the building. I am still at the building because my seniors, like Ms. Suri, I am senior class advisor this year, and we have prom nicely coming up, so we have good things to look forward to here at the high school. Time goes by very, very fast, so please get involved. That's the biggest thing. That is what makes this building fun to be around, and it keeps even us old people going with all the fun that's around for us. Now I'm going to try sharing my screen. I'm used to sharing my screen from my PC, and I'm going to try from the Google Share from now. So let's see how this goes. I'm going to share desktop. Okay, good. This may take a little while. The system is a little slow. So welcome to Regents Physics next year. It is an important class. It ties into so many of the different college majors that you may be interested in pursuing as you move forward from here. And I know that that seems so far, far away, but if you would get a chance to talk to any seniors, they'll be like, oh my gosh, it feels like yesterday I was a freshman. And so that's why we were saying, get involved. It will go by fast. But before you know it, you're going to be thinking about colleges, and you are going to be thinking about majors. And even if you don't go into your traditional physics areas like physics, pure science, or engineering, there are so many other college majors in the science field that will require you to have at least a semester, if not a whole year's worth of physics before you can even move forward. And these are just a few of the different areas that you will find require physics in their programs on the university level. Now, obviously, this is a first year class, and you are going to move forward from here, and your pathways are quite varied as we move forward. There are 2 traditional tracks that we see happen. First one is after freshman year, going as sophomores into Regents Chemistry, and then the following year as juniors, moving to AP Chem. Now, just so you realize, AP Chem is a class we offer, but we only offer it every other year. if this is something that you're truly interested in, you do need to keep this in the back of your mind. And in order to take AP Chem, Regents Chemistry is a prerequisite for it. Now, once you've completed AP Chem, there's so many other APs that you can take in the building. Those are just a few: AP Bio, AP Physics, and AP Environmental Science. But we offer some other electives along the way, which are single period classes that can totally fit into your schedule as you move forward. We have AP Computer Science Principles right now. We have a Forensics and a Marine Science course here. The second option that most students may take is, after Regents Physics, to go straight to AP Physics and keep that information right in the back of their minds moving forward, followed by Regents Chemistry, and then on to a different AP class. Those are our two traditional paths, but here are some other paths that we do have depending on how you decide you would like to pursue your careers. Therefore, talk to the science department. One of the greatest things that I do have to say about this department is it's quite a cohesive group. We are more than willing to help anybody out. If there is something of question for you, whether you don't know what to do, we have such a big range of science backgrounds from our own majors that we could help lead you in the right path as to what we think would be in your best interest moving forward, to help you have a better standing moving into your college pursuits. So please pick our brains. We're here. Most of us are here often and late. Now, some of the things that you will learn throughout the year, there are 5 major units that we cover: mechanics, energy, waves, electricity, magnetism, and modern physics. Some things you may have some background in, and others are going to be brand new. And we just have a lot of fun. There's so many hands-on types of activities, and we're really hoping that by next year, we're back to a bit more of a normal situation in our classrooms, and we'll be able to really show you what physics is and how fun it can be. But please realize the class is difficult. There are some students in this building that will never ever take physics. It's considered the hardest of all of the sciences that we offer in the high school. And part of the reason why it is the hardest is it is 2 classes at one time. It's a strong math as well as a strong science background here. And you guys will just be starting geometry. Most of our juniors and seniors have already taken geometry and chemistry. The material is harder, which makes it more difficult. And also the grading policies at the high school do make it harder. Much of your grade is going to be based on accuracy, not necessarily, hey, did I do my homework or not? It's going to be, how well did you do your homework? And therefore, a lot of times people will spend a lot of time outside of class, either in extra help or doing extra practice. There is always another science teacher in this building that is more than willing to help you out. Please seek help if you need it. It's the biggest key to success in this class, is realizing if I don't understand something, I need to seek some help. And we will give it to you as much as we can and as often as we can. We are here for that. Since we do cover a lot of topics, we do move quickly. Expect nightly homework. Expect that you will be assessed regularly, either through do nows or quizzes or tests, and these are going to be the majority of your grade. Keeping organized, big advantage to doing well, especially because you will be frustrated at times. Every single one of my students probably this year has had some frustration, and they get through it, but you have to work at it to get through it. So as we said, some things you could do: come to extra help, big thing. making sure you're on time with your assignments. Make sure to keep up with them. Use other resources to help you along the way. You have access to Castle Learning, you'll have a review book. All of these can help supplement your exposure. And one of the nice things you should do, especially if you plan on going into science, one of the biggest keys that I always found in college, finding a study group, a group of people. Everybody takes a little bit something different from every lesson. And when you have a study group, sometimes people can help fill in those gaps. And it's a fun way to do something productive and see your friends. Some of the things you'll need: scientific calculator, we highly suggest, as opposed to your graphing calculators. Graphing calculators have a lot of options on them, and sometimes they're not always set for the right functions we want. Having a really organized notebook, pencils and pens, a reference table, which is something new you're going to get. Once you get to the high school, no matter what Regents class there is a reference table. It will become your best friend. It has so many resources for you and ways to get the answer. It's great. After you become juniors and seniors, some of the things that we have are opportunities for you is the Science National Honor Society. If you do well on your Regents exams and you have strong leadership and character skills, you're enrolled in AP classes, you may very well be eligible for this great distinction. We have 12 new members coming in this year, and it's great to interact with them. We do field trips to the college, Friday night lectures, and just a bunch of stuff. It's a great group of people who have similar interests as you, and it's a great achievement. As I've said before, practice makes progress, especially in physics. You will, if you keep working at physics, you will see the rewards. Just remember, everybody gets frustrated, and it's okay as long as you remember to reach out to somebody for some help. And as I said before, doesn't matter where you are in this building, everybody in the science department is more than willing to lend a hand if you just ask. Okay, and I'm gonna Okay, so that's pretty much what I have to say. Mr. Bauman, do you have any, after all your years of teaching too, maybe you have some insights as to things that the kids can do to help themselves out?
Yeah, this is this group of seniors, they were actually our first freshman class doing the 9th grade physics. So this is actually, I heard you saying seniors. Mr. Richard and I, we started the program 4 years ago. And so it was a learning process. We had gone over to Riverhead a couple times. We spoke to their administration. We spoke to their physics teachers. So we got to learn the pros and cons, what we had to cover. What Mrs. Fassini was saying, probably the most important challenge was the geometry and trig, because the kids coming from middle school, you can't assume anything. So we spend, and that was something that we worked on at the beginning of the year. We spend literally 3 to 4 weeks beginning of the course before they get to any physics, before they do the formulas. They learn a basic right triangle. They have to work trig. They have to problem solve. This involves algebra, geometry, and trig. And this is usually covered over 6 months. We don't have 6 months. We have to get this essentially done in 3 or 4 weeks. So the beginning of the course, and I had this as I taught for 3 years, the 9th graders, this was the challenge. When they would come in, I would tell the kids the first day, you're going to get a lot of information. You have to practice it. Some of the kids were used to getting hundreds on everything, and that was a little shock, where suddenly they're not getting 100 because, maybe they didn't know it as well as they thought they did. It's practice. And that's exactly what Mrs. Fassini is saying, is we need the parents. And this is what Mr. Richard and I were talking to the parents on the our presentation was the parents have to be involved. If you sense that your son or daughter is struggling, they're nervous, they might feel that they're over their head, you have to be in touch with the teacher, Mrs. Fassini. It's very, very important because as ninth graders, the confidence level, it's not like a junior or senior. So they catch on, it takes time. Once we do the math part, then we get into reading. And that's another challenge too. The students have to learn how to read. They have to know what they're solving for. And then they go to the reference table. They have to choose the right formula because there's usually different ways to do each problem. So it's not a basic, here's a math course, 2x equals 10, solve for x. There's a lot of different variables and it takes time. It takes time to gel. It takes time for them to get the confidence. And again, usually by about halfway through the year, it starts coming together, but it is a demanding course. And they've gone away from doing more topics to a smaller amount of topics, but it's in greater depth. So the kids they have to be able to reason. They have to be able to interpret. They have to be able to compare. It's no longer solve for a number. And we're seeing that shift with the AP Physics too. So and that's a surprise for the kid because the kids all just want to take a calculator out, solve for an answer. It's solve in terms of, write out an answer, compare it. So it's become very different. And the parents, it's very, very important, the parents to stay in touch with their teacher. So.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bauman. Hopefully we didn't scare anybody away. It is a serious course, but I'm sure that the science department is up for a challenge and we've been successful at meeting the needs of our incoming freshmen. Well, I really appreciate the time that Ms. Fassini, Mr. Bauman, Ms. Sori has dedicated to this informational session. I didn't see any questions, but again, if you have any questions, feel free to email Ms. Sori or myself or Ms. Fassini and Mr. Bauman. We'll answer those questions right away. We are really looking forward to seeing your children after a nice summer break in the building at the high school level. And this presentation will be recorded and posted as well, just for reference. Some of you are going to be joining us for the Global 9 session, which will happen at 7 o'clock sharp. And so once again, thank you for joining us and you have a good night. Thank you.